What's up, everyone? You're in the right place at the right time. This is Toyota Bulls Postgame Live, coming to you from our East Atrium studios of the United Center as we look at the final stats of this very nice win for the Bulls to finish out 2025, KG.
Yeah, you look at that. We asked in the pregame show for the Bulls to win the rebound battle. Look at what they did. They won it by 9 with 62-53 in the rebound category. Also, those 33 assists stand out.
Yeah.
And look at that bottom number, 25 fast break points. That is how you do it. I thought that the Bulls played an excellent game tonight, and glad to see that we had 8 guys in double figures once again, which is the recipe for a Bulls victory.
I mean, you have 2 of your offensive leaders out for tonight and really for the foreseeable future in Coby White and Josh Giddey. Zach Collins, a pivotal piece off of the bench, and with that double big lineup for Billy Donovan. But this entire team, as a group, as a unit, stepped up to get this win, putting up 134 points. He's Kendall Gill, I'm Cam Smith, and we're getting ready to break down this very nice Bulls win going into 2026, KG. And there was so many positives that we saw from this team, from shooting the basketball, of course, assisting, but also taking care of the basketball.
Taking care of the basketball.
A season-low 7 turnovers tonight for the Bulls.
Right. I mean, they did a great job of taking care of the basketball. Big reason for that is because we had old reliable at the helm. He was steering the boat tonight. Tre Jones did an excellent job of navigating the Pelicans defense, did a great job of getting the basketball where it was supposed to go, ended up with 12 assists tonight along with 20 points. And, you know, when you got a master quarterback at the helm, and I know, Cam, you a master quarterback in your playing days,
I had some go back in my day at the point guard spot,
You cherish the possessions, you cherish the basketball, and that's exactly what we saw Tre Jones do today. Also, Ayo Dosunmu handled it well throughout the game as well.
Yeah, 12 points, 6 assists for Ayo Dosunmu, along with 4 rebounds. But getting back to Tre Jones in that double-double with the 20 points, with the 12 assists. And also, with those 12 assists, only 1 turnover. Taking care of the basketball. I mean, it's such a luxury to have a guy out on the court that can be able to not only initiate offense for himself or for others, but also cherishes that basketball and takes care of it like Tre Jones does, KG.
No, absolutely. You can see him right here, holding, understanding, holding the defenders, knowing where the basketball is supposed to go. And a good assist-to-turnover ratio in basketball is 3-to-1. He's by far surpassed that tonight. He did a great job once again. And this is why the Bulls had to have him as a free agent. This is why they went out and signed him, because you know if your lead point guard goes down, he can step in as a starter and do just as good of a job.
Yeah, they signed him to that 3-year, $24 million deal before the season. And also, if you wonder why KG gave him the nickname Easy Like Sunday Morning, you saw the highlights right there, man. Just play those highlights back, because Tre Jones always in control, very poised. And what we like about Tre, especially when he has that matchup advantage against some of the bigger players, is that the change of pace. I mean, we saw it a couple of times against Derek Queen, against Yves Missy, where he'll set him up with a little kind of hesitation, blow right by him, get to the rim, or set up someone.
Yeah, he's a master at setting traps. I mean, you guys have watched great fighters. Floyd Mayweather, if we give an example, he always sets traps for his opponents. That's exactly what Tre Jones does. We can do one was beautiful tonight where he came down on the right side of the lane and he looked this way like he was going to throw the basketball that way, but he kept the ball in his hand and just blew right past the defender for a layup. These are the things that we're talking about. These are the things that experienced point guards bring to the table, just like Tre Jones does.
Just makes my heart smile as a former point guard. That we give some love to the point guard out there. You know I got an affinity for all the PGs out there, especially some of the point guards in the world. But Tre Jones was part of the one of the main reasons why this Bulls team put up 134 points. But the leading scorer for this team, Isaac Okoro, season high 24 points, 8 of 10 from the field. I mean, you come into this situation with Isaac Okoro, and he's labeled as just a defensive guy. But he wanted to show more of his offensive skills, not with just this game, KG, but with this season. He wants to show people that he can score the ball as well.
Yeah, absolutely. When you do fundamental plays like he just did there, a classic pick and roll right to the basket down the lane, you're going to score the basketball. And then once again, you see him right here, getting out on the fast break, creating a turnover, make those turnovers turn into offense. And then you heard Stacey say this, he has become adept and consistent at hitting that corner 3, which he did with regularity tonight. I thought that he played a great game, 16 first half points, ends up with 24, exactly what the doctor ordered.
And his previous season high came in November against his former team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. That was back on November 8th when he had 19 points. He almost surpassed that in the first half. As you mentioned, he had 16 in that first half. But what we saw with all of those highlights, too, with Ice, is that it's all within the flow of the game. It was nothing forced. It wasn't an isolation where he's making 3 or 4 or 5 dribbles just to get to a spot to score. It's off of turnovers in transition, the back screen or the ball screen, and roll into the basket to get easy layups.
And that's what happens when you spread the basketball around. As we said before, the Bulls end up with 33 assists tonight, and you have 8 guys in double figures. It just makes it very hard for the opponent to guard you when you have that much offense coming at you. And we keep going back to this. When the Bulls started off 6-1, this is what they were doing. Yeah. When they just went on the recent 5-game win streak, this is what they're doing. So you can bet money on it that if the Bulls come out and at the end of the game when they have these statistics, they're going to win the game.
No doubt. No doubt.
This is what they need to strive for each and every night.
For sure. And we're going to give more love to Isaac Okoro because he was our Illinois Lottery Defensive Play of the Game, involved in that as well, turning defense into offense. And you say, you know what? I'm just going to call my own number on this, KG.
Exactly.
Let me get defensive and then get this bucket.
Hey, the best time to steal a basketball is when they're passing it to a big man, okay? Because the big man is not going to come to the basketball. Okoro gets out on the fast break right there. Once again, as I said before, turning defense into offense. You see the big man does not come strong to the basketball, and Okoro capitalizes off of it on that fast break.
And KG, go into that a little bit more in terms of capitalizing off of when that ball is passed out back to a big man. I mean, a big part of that has to be awareness, really, when you're help side defense or you're one of those guys on the defensive end.
Yeah, you're in the rotation spot, so you're going to rotate over to the big man, which you saw Okoro do on that play. Big men are not conditioned to come to the basketball. They normally wait on the basketball. That's why you saw Okoro be able to get that steal right there, because the big man just didn't come to the basketball, which played right into Okoro's hands. He was able to get in there and swipe the basketball. You see this? Big man, he's waiting on the ball. He's not coming to the basketball. That's why big men shouldn't play out on the perimeter, man. I keep telling these guys, but they won't listen to me. But that's okay. And the Pelicans can do it tonight.
Yeah, right.
It helped the Bulls win the game. Okoro capitalizes off of it once again. And, just did a phenomenal job once again. He had Giannis Antetokounmpo the other night against Milwaukee. Has to go against Williamson tonight. Even though Williamson scored 30 points, it was still a hard 30 because Okoro made him work.
Making him work for every single one of those 31 points, But that steal for Okoro, 1 of 5 steals for the Bulls tonight. So not only did he raise his level of play, but Jaylen Smith, I throw out the government name when Jaylen Smith is doing his thing. So Jaylen Smith, first start of the season for him, and he put up a double-double, KG. I mean, 14 and 14. The nickname is Sticks, but he was showing some power moves out there tonight.
He really was. And, he has the ability, to knock down threes from the corner like this. But I love the way he rolled tonight. You see this? Yeah. He rolled right in the lane, which is what big men are supposed to do. Okay? I don't want to see big men all the time stay out there and shoot threes, which they had a capability of doing. But this is what you want your big men to do. You want them to score in the paint. You just saw 6 consecutive paint points by Jaylen Smith. Okay, that's what they need to focus on. That's what Vooch focused on in the beginning of the first quarter. They focused on getting the ball in the paint. By the way, they had 60 points in the paint tonight, which was led by the big men. This is the formula, guys. If we can copy and paste this every night, we're going to be in most games.
It just makes it tough for a defense, for a guy like Jaylen Smith that can stretch you out with his shot from the perimeter and the three-point arc. Yeah. But then what I've seen more of Jaylen Smith, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, KG, but he's been more assertive in terms of getting to the paint and scoring at the rim, not just settling for perimeter jump shots. And I think that just opens up his game even more because defenses aren't expecting that from Sticks.
No, it does. And he can take a page out of Nikola Vucevic's book, what he was doing early this season. Everybody expected Vuce to shoot the three. But what did Vuce do? He pump faked and took 1 dribble or 2 dribbles and got to the rim. That's exactly what Jaylen Smith has been doing over the past 3 or 4 games. That's why he had the great dunk on Joel Embiid the other night. He did a stampede cut, got the basketball. They thought he was going to shoot the 3, and he kept them off balance by taking the ball to the basket and dunking it. And you saw that tonight once again.
No doubt. Jaylen, we didn't forget about your defensive efforts as well.
Yeah, he
2
did
blocks
good.
of steal
he did
as
well.
So, I mean, mixing it up on both ends for himself. And to continue with this Bulls team that had 8 players in double-figure points. And you look at the starting 5 group, you had all 5 starters in double-figure points. But Matas Buzelis, he had some really nice moments tonight, especially being aggressive and showing his strength, attacking the rim with some of those dunks, but just kind of powering through defenders to get those buckets.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, getting your hand in the lane. Did a great job. Tre Jones rewarding Matas for running at that point. And then you see Matas stepping out beyond the 3-point line and knocking it down as well. I want to see that one play where he's coming down court where he gets in the slot and dunks the basketball in the first half. I don't know if you guys can bring that up.
It might be on the way. It might be on the way.
But another 3-point shot right there by Matas. And then I love the way he used his body there to bump the big man out of the way and go up and dunk the basketball. I thought he played great once again.
Yeah, and that was the final highlight that we saw there with him, as I mentioned, him powering through a defense and not just settling for threes.
But look, what did we see? We saw Matas at the 3 spot tonight.
Yes, we did. Billy Donovan went big with the starting 5.
I love him at the small forward position because at 6'10", 1, he has a height advantage. 2, he has a reach advantage. And his athleticism allows him at that size to move with small forwards at the 3 position. The highlight that I wanted where he brought the basketball down and he pushed across Zion Williamson and went straight to the rim for a dunk. He can do that all night long if he wants to.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's why, this opportunity, we have guys out, but now Matas has an opportunity to be a 1 or 2 option in this offense and bring the basketball down.
I mean, him at the small forward position, I'm just thinking in my mind, if I'm on defense, but you can speak to this better than I can, playing 15 years in the NBA, though, KG, when that ball is being reversed around the perimeter and you have a guy at 6'10", like Matas, with the athleticism, with the length, when it's swung over to him in the corner and he attacks baseline and you're in scramble mode defensively, it's really hard to try and cut that guy off when he has a head full of steam.
It really is, and it's hard because he's not just an ordinary guy driving down the lane. He's a big, athletic guy that has a penchant to dunk the basketball. And when he gets a step on you, it's over. That's why he should focus on that a lot more. I'd like to see Matas penetrate a lot more than he's doing right now.
Yeah, because you're going to start seeing more guys kind of just slide out of the way when they see 6'10" Matas either coming down the lane or in that baseline because he can get up with the best of them in the air and put you on a highlight reel for sure.
He can, and now they have to honor his 3-point shot because he's becoming a consistent outside shooter. Now the lane opens up for him just because he can knock down shots from out there.
Look, a lot of positives from this Bulls team, not just offensively, but also defensively. But we were just talking a lot about the offense because we should. They put up 134 points against this Pelicans team. We talked about this on Bulls Countdown Live, the previous road game for the Pelicans against the Cavaliers. They gave up 141 points. So we know the defense is optional for that Pelicans team, and the Bulls took full advantage of that with 8 guys in double-figure points.
No, they did, and they did the right thing. And once again, by taking the ball to the basket in the first quarter, establishing Nikola Vucevic down low early. That's what, and you hear Stacey talk about this all the time. It's an easy game. You have to start inside, then out. You soften the defense up by going inside. Then now you open to take your 3-point shots or drive the ball to the basket. Easy formula.
Oh, we got more coming your way on Toyota Bulls Postgame Live. We're going to hear from Bulls head coach Billy Donovan after this big win for this Bulls team heading into 2026. Everybody, stay right here